Let's talk about the manlet, the mama's boy, the legend, John Doyle. A 60s nostalgic man when it comes to rights and emancipation. A fellow alpha male and MAGA head. If you haven't heard of him, he's a Steven Crowder type, trying to be funny while also indoctrinating children into the MAGA death cult. In his 29th of July installment of Hack Off Kame, he promises to explain to us why the left hates white people. If you're leftist, you'll know this is not the case. This easy to demess attempt at victimizing yourself into a counter-racism argument is today's subject. I believe John Doyle is a white supremacist. And I will try to demonstrate this, even though he mastered hiding this fact about himself. I can't begin without showing you John's intro once though, just so you know what we're dealing with here.
John Doyle in Heck Off, Commie.
Alright, I just watched John Doyle tell a story about how he totally red-pilled a drunk girl at a party, and I'm gonna spare you. But to get to his first point...
And that's one of the cores of liberalism. That is one of the largest predictors of a person identifying as left-wing, which is their level of insecurity.
John Doyle says that one of the cornerstones of leftism is your own insecurity, to which I can only say, there are people on both sides who are radicalized because of personal insecurity. Online extremists, e.g. Stalinists or Nazis, oftentimes use radical thought to compensate for their feeling of insecurity. This is not the case for everyone, and certainly not only for leftists, as John tried to put it. He goes on to talk about the destructivity of rich, white, liberal females in politics, which is just a total Bojack comic moment. To skip a bunch of useless points, let's jump to the next major cringe moments. John Doyle actually draws a picture of how you are going to get killed by BLM mobs.
But it's not going to be the government that kills you. It's going to be mobs of people. They're going to show up at your home. You're going to try your best to pick off a few with your AR-15, your $1,200 AR-15 that you customized and built yourself. But at the end of the day, you are going to be killed and the media will ignore it and the police won't be there to help you and the government will do absolutely nothing about it.
Which is peak fear-mongering and is really dangerous because we have seen that talk like this can lead to shootings. Next comes a bit of historical illiteracy about how, Nazis were bad, but actually communists have killed more, which is true, I'm not gonna lie to you. But this kind of talk really does nothing good for either side. Yeah, Stalin killed, I'm not him. Yes, Hitler turned on a few ovens, conservatives are not him. Weighing deaths against each other like this for political reasons is pretty dipshitty. Everyone needs to treat each other like people and participate in normal political discourse. A few minutes of John going off the rails later, he generalizes leftists in terms of being pro-abortion, being atheist, which are different subjects entirely, which is why videos are coming in that area eventually. But he just did what he defied earlier, creating an enemy illusion by which all leftists are evil, want to kill your babies and worship Satan. This is also a tactic to reaffirm your own beliefs and close the door to your echo chamber. To quote the Doyle himself,
they are militant anti-white communists.
Again, he opened the leftist calling everyone they disagree with a fascist barrel in the same video. Hypocrisy in color, ladies and gentlemen. Now, listen to this quote by John.
And we know that they would support censoring research showing that white people are more intelligent, more than they would support censoring research showing the same of black people.
I mean, come on, just say skull shapes. After half the video is over, he finally gets to the point. White liberals, he can't differentiate between left and liberal by the way, are racist against themselves. He shows us a study, which appears to display statistics which show that right liberals do not have an in-group bias, e.g. don't like people of their own race that much, according to the NAES 2018 pilot survey. Not having a strong in-group bias isn't a bad thing in my opinion. Going out of your comfort zone to meet new people can be exciting. White conservatives like Doyle might not like this because they developed a racial bias and would rather stick to white people. John says that white leftists hate themselves and that they sell out their race basically. That's what he declares.
What we know about them, like they basically hate themselves. They're more than willing to sell themselves out for whatever characteristic of themselves is currently on the chopping block. Oh, we hate America now? Well, I'm from America, I'm the worst. Oh, we hate white people now? Well, I'm white, I'm the worst, etc.
Then he asks what they do this for. And to answer this, he makes another hysterical, hyperbolic, demonizing quote.
The ultimate goal is to completely destroy America as we know it or as we knew it and transform it into a dystopian socialist country where those in charge have everything and all the power and everyone else has nothing.
To be serious and genuine, I don't want to destroy America. I don't care about America that much either. I'm not American. But I know leftists in my general political position in America, e.g. Bernie, AOC, etc., don't want to destroy America. They know America can and needs to be better, and that's why they work to improve it. Conservatives who refuse to do that have done one thing forever, since politics existed. They paint the other side in red, suggesting they want to destroy you, take your house away, kill you, and make being the majority race in the country they act in illegal. Their hobby is staying in the way of progress. Next, the white supremacy becomes even clearer. John states that
fundamentally what it comes down to is, of those who built the country and of those who have the deepest roots in the country, the vast majority are white people. This is not a controversial statement. This is just the reality of American history. So to answer why do they hate white people, it's because the people who have the greatest incentive to preserve our country are going to be the people who have the deepest roots here. And this doesn't mean that people whose parents came here 40 years ago can't love America or that they don't want to preserve America. It just means that because of the history of the country, the vast majority of the deepest roots in this country are going to be those of white people.
he basically makes the argument now that white people are the only ones who want to preserve America. That is why leftists who want to destroy it need to destroy white people first. This is so obviously made up anime plotline that it's almost funny. It isn't though, because of all the racism. Going into this video, I've actually thought John Doyle was a moderate conservative. You know, a grifter who's in it for the money. But no, well, yeah, that might be true, but he actually promotes white supremacy. This is why we need to talk about this. He has all those funny stickers on his laptop, the capitalism, the initial score before the Patriots made the comeback in that one Super Bowl, Tesla, Smith & Wesson, etc. But that is just a facade. We only have to go a meter further to find McCarthyist propaganda on his wall. He hides it pretty well, and this is important so his viewers don't know that he or even they are white supremacists, but he definitely is. Also, hilariously, he says,
the vast majority of the deepest roots in this country are going to be those of white people.
There were people here before John. They have roots here that outlast the 500 years whites have only known the continent. But whatever, go on.
And I think introspectively about how my roots go back in this country hundreds of years, the things that those people fought and died for and built to be passed on to future generations, including myself, not to be taken for granted, how my bloodline has been within a 250-mile radius of where I am right now since 1659, and it's like, yeah, over my dead body.
We have more sober bloodline forefathers talk. This guy will make a really great anime villain, but please not somebody to take in seriously in online politics.
Republicans are never going to get the black vote. It's just like virtually impossible. And the reason for that is that there is a pervasive and poisonous cultural narrative within black America that says racism and oppression are the reasons for discrepancies. And the Democrats are more than happy to go along with that for political power, but of course they don't actually care about black Americans. We know that, but
it's funny that John tries to validate such an obviously true statement now. Why do you think blacks do worse and have higher crime rates? Could maybe be that they were legally disadvantaged until 50 years ago? That they literally weren't people according to most Southerners until then? That even today they are less likely to get jobs if they have African American sounding names? All these things are true, and these things lead to economic discrepancies. I would be interested in what John thinks why these discrepancies are. Because if it isn't racism, what is it? Skull shapes?
and you have to emphasize how gay the Democrats have made everything, for lack of a better phrase.
Lol. For the rest of the video he directs a talk at conservatives about political strategy, which is funny but not relevant for this video, so I'm just gonna send you off on the note that I find it sad that people listen to this clown. White supremacy, even when clouded behind goofiness and idiocy, is a serious and detrimental thing. Goodbye.